let's just have a look at what that means entirely. And now come to you, Elaji. Tinubu reconciles, of course, resolves Rivers crisis at a second trial. One of the papers say, okay, it says resolves Rivers crisis to recognize 27 defected lawmakers after president's meeting. All impeachment proceedings against governor to be dropped. Lawmakers under Speaker Maoli will choose where to conduct legislative business.
Well, if you go through the communique that was released to the public after the resolution meeting by the president yesterday, you would come to the conclusion, or the inevitable conclusion, that this is quite, this is a victory for former Governor Nyesom Wike over his godson and the current governor of Rivers State, Wike-Fubara. Everything was resolved in the favor of Wike, essentially. It's like return to status quo. And I'm sure what was not written there would have been, don't ever provoke this man again. I'm sure it was stated clearly, but was not just written down. Because if you look at the fact that the governor signed the resolution agreement, and then the speaker that he didn't recognize also signed as speaker, and the chairman of PDP in the state also signed the agreement. The APC chairman signed. So Wike is in control of both the APC and the PDP at the state level. And that agreement actually captures it aptly. So what else can we say about this? And the most important thing for me here is Governor Wike-Fubara should make up his mind on what he wants to do. For me, he should, going by what he has signed, I think he should just apologize to the man and remain very loyal and faithful to him in all matters. Or he simply resigns from the governorship.
Regardless.
It's as simple as that, because the sad thing is he has thrown a lot of people under the bus. The 5 members of the assembly, or is it 4 of them now, the factional speaker now, that clearly is not recognized by this agreement that he signed, who stood by him and practically saved him in all of these agreements we are having now. The pressure that was brought to bear before this resolution was because of the actions of those 4 or 5 gentlemen. I don't know the number now. How about the plethora of ethnic nationalities in the state, particularly of the Ejo extraction, that have rallied massive support for him? To say, okay, this is our son and nothing should happen to him. How is he going to reconcile what he has just signed with the stance of his kinsmen? And how about the people of Rivers generally, who simply wanted to have a governor who will be his own man and that they can hold accountable for the good governance or otherwise in the state? So how is he going to do all of this? If he knew he wasn't ready, if he knew that he wasn't ready to fight Wike, he should have obeyed Wike in everything, including bedroom matters, if he decides to decide for him how to approach his bedroom. You see, you don't just start something you're not willing to see through. And in the process, you endanger people's lives, people's political career. Because someone like Boma Goodhead, for example, and the other gentleman in the National Assembly, who came out and led protests, led solidarity march in his support. Where does this leave them? Where? So you see, sometimes when you see people like former Governor Wike somehow succeeding, no matter how you look at it politically within the political space in Nigeria, there are certain qualities that he possesses. Fidelity to friendship. He works for other people's interest as much as he wants them to work for his own interest. But the governor didn't consider any other person's interest when he went into the villa, in company of Peter Odili, a known supporter and mentor of former Governor Wike, into the villa. You look at the composition of the meeting, you have the NSA there, you have the chief of staff, you have the vice president and the president. These are all Wike's allies, all of them, in that meeting.
So you're saying he was ambushed?
He wasn't ambushed. He walked himself into the lion's den and presented himself on a platter to be devoured, and he was devoured. He was devoured. So I don't expect him to come back today and renege on all of this, on this agreement he has consented, he has signed on to. He shouldn't do that too, because he will not get the public support he got since this crisis started. He won't get it anymore because he has shown himself to be incompetent politically, lacks the capacity to do that which he wants to do, and come across as a very confused person who does not know what he wants to do with himself.
All right, so,
So-
Dr. Maha, would you say it's confusion or a man whose hands were tied? I mean, would you have said he wouldn't have responded to Mr. President? And in responding, what would he have been able to position as a stance with all of that, brochure of personalities in that meeting?
I think Fubara is, I told the line of Alhaji, yeah, totally. Fubara has proven to be politically naive. He didn't, I feel possibly he was walking into the gliss, glamour, gold, and marble of the presidential villa. He became confused and he was ready, to accede to all the resolution that were presented before him without totally lacking the ability to extract anything for his political survival after leaving the presidential villa. From the resolution, he agreed to 8-point agenda. If you look at all of it, from withdrawing all about 8 suits he has filed against Governor Wike and other lawmakers in the state. His demolition of the State House of Assembly in order to prevent the 27 lawmakers from meeting, so that he can kind of consolidate power. Then those that have resigned, the budget he presented, the 800 billion naira budget he presented, he's now being asked to reverse all his actions, represent the budget. The commissioner that resigned voluntarily on their own, they should be represented, and he should confirm all of them. I don't understand how a politician who is fighting, somebody who is adept at political brinksmanship, who will accede to. It's more like signing his death warrant, as it were, to me. And I wish him good luck. We all pray for peace in Rivers State.
That's exactly what somebody said.
And if this will bring about a peace, but we do know, throughout last week, there were a lot of video clips trending on the internet where you can see Wike speaking. Everything Wike said in the last 4 years that he stands for, I'm sure you saw some of the videos.
Yes, I did.
That he stood for. He has recanted, renounced all of them. He has done a 360 degree from the person he said he was in relation to, I will not interfere in government, I will not seek to become a minister, I will not do this. He has done all of them. Practically, you say that he has gone back to his vomit. That's the character of a very sly and slippery politician. And when you are dealing with somebody like that, you ought to be very careful. And Fubara seems to have, played himself out of the game by acceding to that agreement. But beyond that, there's an issue that has always bothered me, which has to do with, the health of our democracy. What kind of democracy are we running? We have always campaigned that, look, our presidency or the person of the president is too powerful in the kind of democracy we are running, whereby the president is not held to account. People don't hold him to account for his action. So there have always been this agitation to devolve power to the federating unit. If we are talking about devolving powers to the federating unit, what is the rationale that a governor of a state elected by his people should take his grievance at the state level to the president for resolution? To me, it doesn't make sense. There are processes. We operate a democracy based on the rule of law. And where there are conflicts, where it has to do with state within the federating unit. I think there are ample enough laws to resolve all the issues. It doesn't take, we cannot continue like this and expect that our democracy will grow. I would have expected that, look, let the process, let the law take its course. With those cases he has instituted, let him pursue them to its final resolution. For instance, we have a section 109, subsection 1G of the Constitution. Don't we deserve to have an interpretation of it, whereby you have 27 lawmakers defect from a political party to another party, and you say it's okay? And even when you look at the resolution, I would have expected, okay, return to status quo. Those 27 lawmakers, let them go back to PDP. But the resolution was quiet about that. They remain in APC. So Fubara has only 4 lawmakers. He has all the commissioners that left voluntarily. He has to return them back. He, as a governor, he has no power of his own. At the end of the day, what I'm talking about, the state of our democracy is all the resolution, is it about the people?
And also the issue of Godfatherism.
Yes, Godfatherism is, of course, the person who presided over the matter is the grandfather of political Godfatherism in Nigeria. We didn't expect anything less than that. The point I'm actually looking at is, where is the people of Rivers State,
in the conversation,
their interest within all this permutation? It's not Rivers State. It's not about Tinubu. It's not about Fubara. It's not about Wike. It's about the people of Rivers State. Where is the issue of good governance? The governor went ahead and demolished a state house of assembly. Nobody's even holding him to account. Gave one very flimsy excuse, all because he wanted to settle score with his political godfather. I think the conversation should move, to me, beyond this agreement, whereby, we begin to talk about what democracy really is. Who should the people be afraid of their leaders, or the leaders should be afraid of the people? Right. If we are operating a properly functioning democracy, the governor should not, in a whim, pull down a state house of assembly. And nobody is even talking about that. You are looking for how to settle, how to make peace, whereby you made very grievous allegations about, state funds going into private pockets. And these are issues that have not even been dealt with. We are just, scattering the surface of the issue and think we are
making it about two personalities rather than the state itself.
And the people of the state.
All right, let me come back to you. Wow. Like somebody said backstage, it is what it is. And, you talked about even holding forts and making sure that he takes permission for everything, even in the other private side of his life. Yes, I heard, from some of the conversations on some of the accredited Twitter spaces, that he's also been asked not to allow his wife to parade herself as the first lady of the state.
He has to abide by all of those. And let him not disturb the peace of Rivers again. Let him not disturb the peace of Nigerians. You see, he has signed, his signature was signed away his authority and power and ceded it to his godfather. So let us now have peace. You see, Nigeria's political process since 1999 has steadily degenerated into a criminal franchise of power grab for self-service. And so state capture has become the order of the day. And in this criminal enterprise, no politician is innocent. None. So no one deserves empathy or pity. It's all or the fittest. So let them go in there and devote themselves. Nigerians, and specifically Rivers people, should be looking beyond the current establishment, the current order, for democratic consolidation in Nigeria. Like Dr. rightly has pointed out, in your bid to fight back, you pull down an entire edifice. Meanwhile, Governor Wike had accused you pointedly of being the one who actually detonated dynamite in the assembly in the first place, of the reason you claimed you are demolishing it. You've gone through all of this, and then you walked into the villa and succumbed.
And signed off.
Signed off. Then we didn't even talk about the 27 members that defected. He didn't even talk about it. He didn't even say come back or not. It was silent.
So you went without negotiations on board.
You just went in and you signed. So why did you take the entire state and the country on this roller coaster of?
What point was he trying to make?
What point were you trying to make? At the end of the day, you made no point. You know I'm saying this? Let us learn a lesson or two from this. And for godfathers and godsons, look, if you don't want to be a loyal godson for godfather, don't accept his benevolence and his structure that will make you other. They don't. At this point, even among thieves, there should be honor. And so it is important for us to take a lesson or two from this. The people of Rivers are not in the equation. They didn't ask him to commit to good governance in that agreement. They didn't say, provide free education for your people. The demands are not that, okay, go and construct roads.
It's not about the people.
It's not
about management of the state resources.
It's about that criminal structure, political structure, that has plunged Nigeria into heavy debt burden, very heavy impoverishment, terrorism. We are the most terrorized, traumatized, and pauperized people today because of this kind of politics. And so, please, I think after this week, I will now urge the media too. Let's focus on the real issue that is bothering Nigeria.
Take a rest.
Let them just, because honestly, if Fubara things take part of this meeting and then renege on these promises or these agreements and expect public support, he must be joking. Because he had every opportunity as a sitting governor, the same government, the same power that Wike wielded as governor for 8 years, which gave him this prominence, is the opportunity you have at hand. Nobody says you should turn against your benefactor, but we are saying some minimal ability to be able to at least decide certain things.
So he should have carried his people and support group along to be able to make the best of the negotiations.
But, so if he knew he wasn't able to do this, he should not have excited people unnecessarily. And today he has thrown everybody under the bus. Everybody.
All right,
including the supporter. And effectively, Fubara is no longer a governor in the regions of the world. Because they are asking to bring back commissioners. Not that you fired them. They resigned. Went on TV and disparaged you. They say you must bring them back. They say you must go back to that assembly and present your budget.
Allow them to meet where they choose.
Where they choose to meet. So effectively, you have lost control of the state to your godfather. So it's either you decamp and join the APC with the 27 members, or you resign honorably.
All right, let's look.